Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's Greg here again, before the last kit review of the year and sort of a Christmas video as well. So without further ado, let's see what we've got. See my you see it's the Trumpeter KV-5 Super Heavy. That was I got to pick this up for a reasonable price of about 28 quid on eBay. It was like a best offer, so I offered him 28 quid or something and I got it. Very surprising, and free delivery. So bargain, I thought. So as you can see, that box with a typical Trumpeter. Nice picture of the multi-turreted tank. And obviously it's 135 scale. And the kit number is 05552. So there's the same artwork on the ends. And on the side we have, I think there's only optional markings for one tank, so there's a sort of a profile of it. It's an unusual shape thing, a little bit of PE. The Decals, obviously made in China, it's not a toy, plus 14-year-old to build it. I don't know, I've seen plenty of 14-year-olds that build better than me. And there's a bit of thing there, it's KV-5 Object 225, a cancelled project for a super heavy tank. Armament was B 107mm, ZIS 6 gun, inch and large turret. I'll let you read the rest. The machine gun. Oh. So it never got past the drawing board, I suppose. If there's anything we'd build on it, but we shall see. So if you're going to hold that, you can read that. Right, without further ado, let's see. I haven't even opened it because it's still taped off. Just a second. Bloody hell, it's a stiff box to get open. We'll just do what we normally do and work our way from the top. I shall just move this out of the way if I can. I'll have to go on the deck. I've got that much bloody rubbish in my room, it's amazing. Right, the first sprue we have is, by looking at it, is to do with the turret. Looks like the sides, the sponsons on the gun. To me it looks like slide moulded, which is a good positive start. Just pop that out of the way. And I see it's really nicely moulded, typical Trumpeter stuff. That's quite nice. There's no cast texture on the where we are. There's a slight cast texture, but not a great deal. But we'll soon see. You can always add a bit of a Mr. Surfacer if it doesn't. It hides. There's part of the mantlet, and then we have the slide moulded barrel. It's nice open-ended as well. Slide moulded, so there's only 1, 2, 3 connection points and probably a seam line to take out, but that shouldn't take 5 minutes to take out. And we have the lower hull with the cupola in the centre, which saves a bit of space. That's quite a nice design. I like how they've done that. Commander's cupola by the looks of it, or driver's cupola. I don't know if it's open or closed. That one's closed. We have a one fender. Nice detail again. I think that's the commander's cupola by looking at the height of it. And a couple of little side sponsons that goes onto the sponsons themselves, which are quite nicely detailed again. Yep, nice again. So that's the first sprue. Let's pop that back in the bag. Right, another sprue. Excuse my head. We have a looks like wheels and low running gear stuff. Yeah, we have the sprockets, the eye, and the bit of flash there. That's unusual. Oh, it's gone now. Yeah, nice detail on the inside of the sprockets as well as the outside. Well, inside, outside. There's quite nice detail on there. Again, a few small little pieces. The shackles, Been listening to Harry Houdini too much and his shackles. Shackles, they are shackles. I don't know what these are. Part for the return rollers. Yeah, by looking at that. Yeah. Part again, I think these are for the yeah, lower suspension as well. And quite nicely detailed again. I presume that's the final drive. And there's the obligatory Russian thing to put the tracks back into line. So obviously there's no there'd have been no bolts at the end, they're just forced back in as it goes around the track. Well, it must work because they wouldn't have done it otherwise. And then we have the lower hull. It's a lower hull, part of the lower hull, sorry, it looks like the front part. And then we have the idler, or return idler at the back, or front. Nicely detailed again. There's the exhaust, typical exhausts. Pull that out as well, that's quite nice. So presumably, I thought there had been two of those, two of the same sprue, but there isn't. We have an unusually shaped sprue here, which has there's two in there, which is lower running gear, more running gear as well. Yeah, identical. And we have the suspension, the suspension arms, nicely detailed again. The return rollers at the top, two part, more shackles, shackles again. And these look like the boxes on the side, ammunition boxes, or things that the crew put the stuff in. There's two of those, they're quite nice, that's four altogether. Quite nicely detailed. The handle almost looks like the handle looks almost as if it's a separate, and it looks quite nice, that. Really nicely moulded, I like that. Yep. See what the other one's like, see if it's the same sort of thing. Yeah, it looks like from a certain angle, they look, like that, they look like they're a separate piece. Still nice indeed. There's some more exhausts, so obviously there's a multiple from another kit, I would presume. So it's 4 exhausts I've got so far. And then more down here, still plenty of plastic to come. I'll take this one out first. And then we have another sprue here, which has got two of the same again. Which we have more sprockets. It's the same as last time, quite nicely detailed again. And there's the inside of the sprocket. Looks like one of the small turrets on the front of the machine gun, I think. Yeah, that's quite nicely moulded. There's quite a nice detail on that as well. There again, I'll have to find if there's any pictures and see if there's anything, if it was cast or it's quite smooth. Like I say, I don't know if any were built or not, but I shall have to hunt and have a look and see what we can find. So that's one of the little turrets. And then again some of the side sponsons for the to add to the side. And we have the grab handles. We have some sort of box, presumably something to do with the, I think it's to do with the engine. I'm not too sure. The exhaust, where the exhaust comes from. I may be wrong completely. I think that's the cap for the sprocket. Again, some periscopes, which I thought, yeah, there's 3 periscopes of 6, and then we have some more periscope covers along the top there. They're all nicely detailed again, nice little rivets on them. So there's 2 of those, they're exactly the same. Oh, yeah, so obviously the 2 turrets must be the same on the front of the beast. And we have the main running gear, 2 sprues again. So let's pop one over there. Oh, there's actually 3. And these are the, obviously these are all the wheels. They're small, but nicely detailed again. Hollow as well. The bolt holes are hollow. Nicely detailed. And we have the inside is quite nicely detailed as well, where the injection marks you can see, but you won't see them. And they're keyed as well, so which is good. I like them when they're keyed, so they lock into position quite well. And usually you can take the seam and the little nubs off the end, all in the same, so we can do them in one go. And then we have the caps for the wheels as well, which are nicely detailed again. So that's nice. So there's three of those screws. So I think, oh no, it isn't the end of the plastic, is it? Far from being the end of the plastic. Right, so we have Lincoln length tracks, which I've never ever used. So this will be a first for me to use these Lincoln length tracks. Let's have a look what the details like. Well, there's no injection marks on the inside. Quite nicely detailed again, and I don't think there's any injection marks, not that I can see, on the single parts. And the detail on the front again is really nice. Typical Russian track, but really nice. So I certainly will be using these. Not wrong with them at all. So I've never used Lincoln length tracks, but there's always a first. The detail is really nice on them. So the different colours plastic as well. Right, so let's get to the main part of the tank itself. And as you can see by the size of the main turret, it's a vast thing. Pretty square, it's pretty Russian sort of style with the bustle at the back. Obviously to accommodate the large gun, 101mm, wasn't it? I think it said something like that. There again, it's fairly smooth. You've got weld seams down the front. They're a bit on the soft side. Oh, they are. They're not too bad. They're not too bad. I've seen a lot worse. At least they're there. And again, the top is quite smooth, but it wouldn't be cast, I wouldn't have thought. It's welded together, so nice weld texture right around the top of it as well. Yeah, through that. So it's quite a large turret, as you can see. Right, let's bring the rest of the things up here. Right, let's have a look. 1, 2. Let's just bring the rest of the stuff up here for now, and then we can go to the instructions near the end. Right, so we'll work through these. We have the small sheet of decals, no point in getting them out, which is the Russian star and a couple of numbers. That's about it for that. Let's just say a little sprue of PE for the engine grills, which is nice again. Looks like nice and thin. Let's have a look. It's a resealable bag, is it? No. But we'll have a look anyhow. Yeah, it's really thin. And it's got that coating of plastic on as well, which is good, which is nice to leave on. It doesn't ping everywhere. And it's nice and thin. I've seen thinner, but that's thin enough for me. So we have the engine grills, a couple of other bits and pieces there, vents. I don't know what that part is, circular part is. It could be something to do with the cupolas or something, not too sure. But it's there. And, it'll be used, unless it's not. Sometimes when you get PE in certain kits, there's PE for PE's sake. So I think that's just enough for this tank. And then we have another length of track, which I thought we were going to have to find because I didn't think that was going to be all of the track. And look quite nice again because I've got the this natural sag built in, which is really nice. And like I say, there's no injection marks or anything, so you just cut the nubs off and file them down and away you go. So again, really nice. And as you can see by the length of the hull, it's rather large. It's, well, how long is it? Tape measure. on the end it's 9 inches, so it's rather large. The detail on the side is quite nice, so there's quite a lot of stuff to go on there. The detail is really nice on there. And on the rear, again, it's really quite nice on the rear there. Sorry, on the underneath. Don't know how accurate to say. I'm going to have to look into it and just to make sure if it actually was built or was it just cancelled or it was just on the paper. So you never know with the Russian stuff. So yeah, so that's the lower part of the hull. And then we have the upper part, which is of a strange shape. It's almost like it's like the T30, now you see the T35 type thing, or a bigger scale. Again, it's all smooth, nice welding seams. Yeah. Nice. You've got a turret there on a what do you call them? Oh, bloody hell. Barbette. I think that's what they're called. And obviously there's the other one for the other turret, and then the main turret obviously, and then the engine and the grills and things at the back. But like you say, it's you'll see what the fit's like. So it's basically it's a square box, and you just put the sponsons on. I think the fit's going to be quite nice. Yeah. Just probably best with things like this is I use the Revell contactor to start from the front and work my way back. You see it's going to go on quite nice. It's just a matter of me messing around. Yeah, it will go together reasonably simple, but there's not much of a meat to grab hold of it as such. There's the lines on the inside, I suppose that helps. Yeah. Yeah, it'll go together, shouldn't be a problem, just me messing with it. Yeah, there you go. Nice tight fit as well. So I would advise you to is just start at the front and work your way back gradually. There's no point in gluing the whole thing. By the time it gets to the end it'll be dry if you're using the Tamiya extra thin. So as you can see it's quite an enormous beast. Right, so let's have a look at the decals. Sorry, the destructions now. I'll pop them out over there. The typical Tamiya stuff, Trumpeter stuff. We have the colour call out. I do like the colour call outs. Gives you all the both sides of the top. Obviously it's just Russian green, nothing too elaborate. It'll give me a chance again to do some modulation. So there's nothing on the other side. So what does it say? It gives you colours for Mr. Hobby, for Leo, Model Master, Tamiya, and no, it doesn't give you Tamiya or Humbrol. Mr. Hobby is H28, which I have the Russian green. Yeah, I have the modular set, so I'll be using that on it. And then we have the typical Trumpeter again. What we have coming out, well this is 2016, so it's quite old. And there's the one we just purchased there. The KV-5 now. Sky Warrior, the Chinese J108. Is that 108? J10B, sorry, I can't read now. And then we have at the bottom we have the Russian T62 mod and the German Panzerwagen 4 medium tank. There's a few CAD drawings of them on the bottom, and on the other side we have the one page for the new variant of the SU-24M Fencer D, Russian again. So it's, if you're into your jets, I'm not really into jets as such. Looks a nice kit though. So we shall pop them back in the box and get to the back to the KV-5. So we have typical Trumpeter again. It's in booklet style, which is nice, so you don't leave it half on your bench. And we have the there's not a lot of plastic, but there's enough. And there's the sprue map. And typically we start off with the wheels and the sprockets, the wheels, putting the suspension armors on and the other bits and bobs. We go for the make of the suspension. Very straightforward. I can't see this being a long build, but me it could be at the moment, because I don't get a great deal of time at the bench at the moment. I'm between Christmas and one thing and another. And then we're putting the wheels on, which I won't be doing at that stage, because there's no polycaps on them, so I won't be putting them on at all until I get near it. But that's it. I'll put the arms on and things like that, and all the shackles and things like that, but I certainly won't be putting the wheels on, or the return rollers on the top either. And then we get the track, but then again I won't be doing it at that point. I'll have it all ready to go though, primed and painted, and take them up, put them on and take them off, and leave one track out, so it'll just pop off the back, we hopes. And then we start on with the upper hull and connect it to a lower hull, and a few of the turret bits and pieces. Yeah, I thought it was the engine covers for the hatches, the rear of the tank. Yeah, again we're carrying on with the machine guns in the top turret, the little turrets at the back, on the front, 2 machine guns on each, so 1 machine gun on each. And then we're putting the sponsons on the side, and then them boxes, and then the brackets that hold it together. Fairly straightforward. And then we're onto the turret, which is really easily, so it's only connecting the 2 bits, there's no interior. And then we have, starting with the cupolas and things like that, and then the mantle for the gun, mantle to onto the front of the tank, a couple of grab handles, obviously quite a high turret for the crew to get up there. And so it's only 9 steps, so it's going to be a fairly fast build. And then we're putting the cupola on the top again with the machine gun, and the barrel and the cover for the mantlet, and that's it. So it's a fairly fast build, he says. So that will be one for the new year. There's many others, I hope. Yes, I'd just like to also say I wish all my subscribers a very Merry Christmas, and thank you for subscribing. So I'm moving in the right direction. I'm at 5, I think I'm into the 580s now, I think so. I'd like to crack 600 before New Year if I possibly could, but if I don't, it's not a problem. Yes, I'll just say thank you very much for sticking with me, and let's say there's plenty of builds to come. I say I've nearly finished me T34 diorama. I've just got the diorama itself is finished, but we'll be doing an update of that soon. It's just mainly now getting the suspension ready on the T34 and weathering that to match the surroundings. So that'll be up shortly, hopefully today or tomorrow. I don't think there's anything else apart from the Christmas. Merry Christmas to everybody, and say a Happy New Year, and I hope you've all been good boys and girls and you get what Santa's hoping to get things off Santa. I know I've got a couple of kids off from close friends, and I know I've got a couple off my wife and my daughters and my son. I know a couple of them, but they're still being wrapped, so we know what they are. It'd still be a nice surprise. Well, when you get to my age you forget these things, so it'll be alright. Right, so this is Greg signing off. I say I'll do one more review on the update on the T34 build, and that'll be the last one for the before Christmas, I would think. I might do one during between Christmas and New Year. I'll see what I'll do. I'll probably do me gifts, what I get for Christmas. I'll do that. I shall do that. So this is Greg signing off, and we'll catch you very soon.